Inside the studio, everyone, for another edition of TinChattin. As always, he is Mike Maahs, radio play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne TinCaps. I am Justin Prince. And Mike, I wish we had better things to talk about. But it has gotten to be that time of the year when the roster is barren and the TinCaps baseball has not been great lately. Last week, they finished up their home series with 4 straight losses. Thankfully, I guess if you want to say, Sunday's game got rained out, and then they've started this series on the road now with a couple straight losses in that one.
Yeah, they have been hurting for a long time.
Yes,
but it's just a tough way for the season to end.
Oh yeah,
because you got some guys that are busting their butts, plain and simple. We've talked about this before. These last few weeks of the season, the Padres Brain Trust is going to be looking at who does what on the field, who's going to give the effort, who's going to do whatever it takes to try to secure a win. You can't slough it.
Nope.
If you want to have a job or the potential to have a job in 2023 in the San Diego organization.
yeah.
And this team is just struggling royally.
Yeah, like you said, though, the struggles, they have continued. TinCaps have lost 5 straight coming into Thursday night, and they had lost, what does that make? 11 of their last 12 with the 6-game sweep that was at Lake County. Again, a lot of player movement still. The most recent one, Mike, Joshua Meahs, finally on his way up to AA. Really, after a tough start to the year, Mike, Meahs really, you saw kind of start to turn things around a little bit during his second stint here with the team. Meahs ended up hitting .223 during his time here with Fort Wayne. He ended up hitting 14 homers, walked 16 times. The big number, though, is still the strikeouts. But still, good to see him improve the way he did during his time, that second stint here down in Fort Wayne.
And in his first game with San Antonio on Tuesday night, he did pick up a base hit against Midland. And I watched a little bit of their game last night on MILB TV, and you have a situation where you had a lot of Fort Wayne TinCaps seeing familiar faces who started the season at Lansing, now playing for Midland at the AA level in the Oakland organization.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool to see because, I mean, obviously it says a lot about the development that the guys were able to have here under Brian Esposito and in their time in Fort Wayne. But it also makes you wonder, what if, you know, a lot of these guys had gotten to stay most of the year, all of the year, guys hadn't gotten traded away, et cetera, because the TinCaps really had started to play some better baseball. But unfortunately, that time is behind us, Mike.
Yeah, it is. And now I know you've used this phrase before. And Peter, when he was here, used the phrase, you have to deal with the hand you're dealt with.
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen. One thing I can guarantee you and our viewers, Brian Esposito is not giving up.
Oh, no, he's not throwing in the towel at all.
He's realistic enough to know the TinCaps are not going to make the playoffs, but he's also realistic to know that having been a former major league player himself, he knows what he's talking about, and he's hopefully going to instill the belief in this roster to play as hard as they can the rest of the way, because you play hard, sometimes good things can come your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, 6 games left here at home. Hard to believe the final homestand is upon us. 6 games left here at Parkview Field. Starting next week, they bring West Michigan into town, Mike. Obviously, West Michigan, a team that's still fighting for a playoff spot. So the TinCaps still have plenty to play for, despite being out of the race themselves. Looking forward to 6 more downtown, and just seeing what these guys can do and seeing what kind of next steps maybe they can make here over these final last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you think of some of the moves that have been made this week alone. You mentioned Joshua Meahs going up to AA San Antonio, and there are 3 new players on the TinCap roster. 2 of them coming from Low A Lake Elsinore, 1 coming from the Arizona Complex League. And let's see how those players do, because Espo's going to put them in a lineup. I mean, they're not coming up just to sit on a bench and get a seat on the bus and what have you. They want to show what they can do as well, and Espo will give them that opportunity.
Yeah, he certainly will. So 6 more games downtown next week. Looking forward to 1 more week downtown and then 1 more week of TinCaps baseball after that. That's going to do it for this edition of TinChattin', though. As always, he is Mike Maahs. I'm Justin Prince. Elijah and I will be right back after this message.